Hi everyone, this is Rachel Duhan from Traveling Texans, and here I'm welcoming you to our website. And I wanted to take the time to introduce ourselves, David and Rachel, and just tell you a little bit about how we met and our story and why we created TravelingTexans.com. Basically, July 28th, 2008 was the day that changed our lives. My friend John was terrified to speak in public, and he told me about this group called Toastmasters, and I thought, okay, I'll go with my friend. And when I walked in the door, there was my future husband who actually greeted me at the Toastmasters meeting, and I basically just kept going every week and practicing my public speaking, and we ended up dating and getting married, and it was wonderful. So July 17th, 2010, we got married. And before we got married, we had talked about our financial plans and our future plans, what we wanted to do for our lives. David had been a Rotary scholar to Brazil, and he had traveled all over the world. And as being a teacher, an English teacher as myself, I knew that I could pretty much teach English in pretty much any country in the world, and that I could travel and make money. And the only problem was that we had student loan debt. And so when before we got married, we did something called Financial Peace University. But first, I want to talk to you about our goals, because before we got married, we sat down and talked about what we wanted in life. Obviously, that was one of the things we did before we even got engaged. But we definitely decided that we wanted to travel the world before we started a family, and that starting a family is amazing and awesome, and I totally am jealous of some of my friends sometimes because they have such adorable families. But the thing is, I wanted to travel before I started a family. And we both wanted to work on our careers overseas and online. I'm an English teacher. David is also a certified English teacher. He has a degree in business, and I work online doing social media, internet marketing, and things like of that nature. So I'm able to take my career all over the world. And that's what we wanted to work on. Would I be able to stay at home with our kids, or would he? And how could we do this? Kind of basically, how could we travel and eat our cake too, pretty much. And when we were engaged, we had over $50,000 in debt. That included student loans, a car payment that David had. I had about $8,000 on a credit card, which was awful if you have to pay 30% APR. And it was just crazy. So, what we decided to do was pay off our debt, pay as much as we could before we got married. And one of the things we did was we attended a Dave Ramsey course called Financial Peace University. And in the Financial Peace University, he actually talks about paying cash for your first home. And that is something I always wanted to do. But I always felt like that was incredibly strange because no one I really knew did that. Now, a lot more people are doing that these days, and surely, 50 years ago, you probably had to do that. But it just seems like now it's pretty normal to put zero down, 5% down. But to me, having debt just made me feel like I literally was slave to the lender, as it says in the Bible. And we definitely had other goals. We wanted to become more fluent in Spanish and other languages. We're from Texas. You know, they say that 40% of the United States speaks another language. Most people in Texas need to know Spanish, and David and I know Spanish, but we wanted to improve that as well. We definitely wanted to learn about other cultures and people, and then when we have children, to basically pass on that knowledge and that love of learning to them. And we definitely wanted to have an adventure worth telling the grandkids. So this is all of the reason we're doing this. We paid off our debt when we got married, and we paid off debt before we got married. So we are traveling debt free. And I have to tell you, that is the best way to travel. I wouldn't suggest any other way. If you have student loans, okay, but really you can't have as much fun because to me, in the back of your mind, you're always wanting and wondering when are they going to be paid off? And who wants to travel with $25,000 of student loan debt, $10,000 on your credit card? It's just not worth it. So our motto is get out of debt before you travel. Now, if you're already traveling, don't hate me, don't send me hate mail. Just know that this is our motto and this is something that we believe in because we do whatever we want. If we want to go somewhere, we save for it and we purchase the ticket and we go there. And isn't that the kind of freedom most people want? So we had the opportunity to meet Dave Ramsey when he came to Katy, Texas, and this was after we were debt free. So we were super excited. And I am not a Dave Ramsey affiliate. I do not get paid for doing this, but since this has changed my life, I am a big advocate for doing this. And I just wanted to lay out his baby steps that he talks about, which is $1,000 in the bank. And he talks about this because $1,000 in the bank means that if you have a little emergency, you just pay for the little emergency, whether it's your car breaks down, which may not seem very little, but if you have $1,000 and your car breaks down, or your kid needs something, or you have to pay for an unexpected bill, you pay for the bill. You don't go crazy. You don't put it on your credit card. You don't basically worry as much, and that was one of the best things about using the system. The second one is the debt snowball, and that is listing your single debts, smallest to largest. So if you have a credit card debt of $1,000 or a student loan of $3,000, you pay off the $1,000 first, even if the student loan debt had a higher interest rate. Because as Dave Ramsey says, when you pay off the smallest one first, it's like you get that quick win, that quick, feeling of momentum. If you start with a loan that's $50,000, you're going to feel like you're never going to get through that. So that's also another great step to follow. The third one is 3 to 6 months in emergency savings. And obviously, life happens. You need to have a cushion. And this is exactly what we did before we went and traveled. The fourth one is invest 15% of your retirement or 15% of your take home pay into retirement accounts. Because obviously, you definitely want to retire one day. The thing with us is we wanted to travel before retirement. A lot of people assume that they can do these things when they're 65, 70, but really, who wants to go hike all over South America, or who wants to go travel all over the world when you're 70? You might want to sit in front of the television or explore your city or play with your grandkids. So this is why we wanted to travel when we were more able-bodied and we had more freedom. Fifth is saving for kids' college. And listening to Dave Ramsey on the radio and his program and reading his books, what he says, and I have seen this too as a teacher, a lot of parents will pay for kids' college before they do any of the other steps. Which is really a mistake, because why would someone pay for their kids' college and not pay off their credit cards? It's better for the parents to be in a stable financial situation before they're paying for their kids' college. Plus, kids get scholarships. David and I were not given money to go to college. We had to get scholarships and jobs, just like a lot of kids today. And it will make your kids appreciate the money that they do have to spend on college. Number 6 is pay off your home early. This is something that David and I are actually doing now. We're already saving money every month because we want to pay cash for our house. It's not bad if you want to pay 20% or 30%, 50%. That's awesome, actually. We just wanted to never get in debt again. And then 7 is to build wealth and give it away. Obviously, that's creating and building a legacy for yourself so that you are generous when you do have all this wealth to give. And so the purpose of this travel blog, it's to keep us accountable, but also we wanted to show others that it is possible to live these dreams of traveling and kind of having everything you want. And I understand that a lot of people are fearful about just traveling in general, and they're fearful about, well, what's the money situation going to be like? And I totally understand that. David and I are very lucky that we have jobs where we don't we don't have to be somewhere. I'm an English teacher and I work online in social media. So basically, I can live anywhere in the world where they need someone who can teach English, reading, speaking, conversation, all of that, and then anywhere online or anywhere in the world where they need social media and English. So it's like we're able to do these things. And so if you're not able to do those things, I would suggest getting certified to teach English, or look at your own set of skills and what can you do, or just save up the money and go travel for 3 months, or whatever you can. Obviously not running away from responsibilities, but giving yourself this opportunity to live these dreams. So this is kind of why we hope this website will do for you, to provide inspiration, and we want to hear your stories because it just gives us more food for thought, just more motivation to keep doing what we're doing. So if you want to get started with the travel blog, you should contact us. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much most of the big wigs, and of course here on YouTube. And if you need help with your social media or you want to start a website, I can build a website for you. I can do your social media, or just email me and let's talk. Let's have a conversation about this. I would love to provide you with information about books that you might be interested in, because obviously we've read a lot and we've gone to different blogs, and there's a lot of information on the internet about how to save money, and usually people they want you to buy something. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I just want to hear your story. And I hope that we can connect online via the website, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. And so contact me or David, and hopefully you'll come back and you'll enjoy the website. So that about wraps it up. I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation, and best wishes to you on your financial and your travel journeys. Bye.